Good morning, I'm John and welcome to Retired and Inspired, especially if it's your first time. Then why put the effort in retirement? Well, I'm 72 now, and why not? I'm generally a glass full type of person. I can't complain. I've had a fantastic life and I've had a great upbringing. I was brought up in the Lake District as a young lad, and so I ran about in the fells, swam in the streams, cycled, did fell running. So I had a fantastic upbringing and a great family. We ran a guest house in a place called Keswick in Cumbria, so I met all kinds of people. My mother's guest house used to be booked up for about 2 years in advance in them days, because they used to run the conventions from Keswick, the religious conventions. So she was always booked up there. So I was meeting all kinds of people, brought up with seeing all sorts of things going on in life. So yes, I've had a fantastic upbringing, and then I've had amazing employment opportunities. They don't have so much nowadays. I feel really sorry for the youth nowadays. My son and my daughter have not done too badly. They've got reasonable employment. I'm a bit concerned for the grandchildren nowadays with AI and everything else coming in. But as I say, I had amazing employment opportunities. I went into the Navy as a young boy, a young radio operator, and saw a lot of the world. Served on an aircraft carrier, the Ark Royal, for the first 2.5 years. And then after that, I served on HMS Fearless, an assault ship. Went all over the Mediterranean, went over to New York, went to South America, to Caracas in Venezuela. Spent 12 months in the Navy in a shore base in Hong Kong, HMS Tamar, now given over to the Chinese a few years ago now. And then I ended up on the Britain's nuclear deterrent, the Polaris submarines, which was quite an eye-opener for a young boy. Quite exciting times, and it gave me a good grounding in life, so I've been very fortunate there. And then obviously I had the police force as well, which learnt me a lot about life, a lot about how to speak to people, how to treat people, and that gave me a great insight into life in general. And then my last employment was when I worked abroad as a manager for a Spanish property company, which gave me a great time in life, seeing everybody in the sunshine and selling Spanish properties and making everybody's dreams come true. But as I say, nowadays, the youth of today, I really fear for them nowadays. But really, we've got to just encourage the youth of today. We've got to lead by example, if we can. I'm in fairly reasonable health. I've had my ups and downs. I've had pneumonia. I've had a skull injury, and I've had an anal abscess, which I think I mentioned in an earlier video, which wasn't very pleasant. Everybody laughing at me at the time as well. Not a nice thing to have. But it's really, it's how do you want to be remembered? What do your legacy want to be? I want my grandchildren and children to remember me as being a light-hearted, doing all the granddad jokes and stuff like that, because we have a great family environment. I don't see them as often nowadays. Obviously, I am retired and most of them are working. My 2 children are working and my 3 grandchildren are working. Not in the jobs that they really wanted to do. I mean, one of them went to university and in management, and he's working as a baggage handler at Manchester Airport at the moment. But he keeps trying, and at least you've got to encourage them, and that's, as I say, you've got to give them something to hold on to. Just try and encourage them and speak about your future, your past, and try and say that when we were in employment, we were very fortunate because we could go from one job into the next. But have you given up yet? Because if so, why? Because there's many reasons to keep giving life your best shot. And as I say, there's lots of things that we can do to encourage children in the future. But Let me know in the comments what's keeping you going, and let's all keep retired and inspired, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.